Hello. Oh, hello. Welcome to the daily political tarot readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. I am here 365 days of the year to take your political questions out of the chat. Sorry if I seem a little distracted, just trying to get this last thing done. But I'm here every single day of the year. And I take your 12 political questions out of the chat. Kate Reese, you're back. Oh, bless. It is so good to see you, my friend. It is so good to see you. Sorry, I just had to say that. Bless. So, and hello, Donna. Anyway, I take your 12 political questions out of the chat before I come on. I've got a lot of economics and banking questions today. Fair enough. So, 10% of my income from everything Black and Orange goes to Feeding America at feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. That is an ongoing thing. And if you're watching this on replay, hello, you can skip all this. You can go down in the description box. All the questions are listed there, and I timestamp them as I go. So you can pick and choose what you're interested in or not. Or you just watch it back on, like, hit the gear, wherever, if it's either in the top or the bottom. When you put the cursor over the video, you can up the speed to like 1.25. Some people do 1.5, 1.5 times speed. The stuff at the beginning will seem very fast, but then it becomes more understandable when I'm doing readings. So, my goodness gracious. There's a lot going on, and I understand people are worried about the financial system or banks or what have you. Some people are, we're understandably, we're human, and people who watch this show, you guys, you are not the poorly educated. You are even if whether you got degrees or not, or whatever formal education you had. Everyone I've talked to on this channel, they're intellectually curious. They are they want fact. They do not want alternative facts. They want real facts, and they want to know what's going on, and they want to understand. So they also know history. And the thing about his, because we understand the famous line: those who remain ignorant of history are doomed to repeat it. Because the same kind of problems come up over and over. Whoops. The other famous line is history does not repeat itself, but it does rhyme. So when somebody starts saying words like run on bank failure, run on bank, understandably, there are people who are like, oh my gosh, but the thing you have to understand, and I'm going to read on all the questions you guys brought, but the thing you have to keep in mind is that, number one, this wasn't a regular bank. And two, unlike back in the 30s, your money is, if you are in a regular bank, just regular bank, or credit union often too, but just a regular bank, your accounts are guaranteed up to $100,000. Last I heard it was $100,000. It might be more than that now. FDIC insured. It means that you are not, if your bank fails, you are not going to lose all your money. You're not. Okay. What's going on with this bank is that it was a venture capitalist bank, and its demise is very, very tightly linked to the fall of crypto. A lot of these venture capitalist people, they were really into crypto. a lot of the money, plus the fact that these accounts, because of they were business accounts, because of the kind of it's up to $250,000 guarantee. Velda and Kay, thank you so much for that. Yeah, love Jalou, same, 250,000. So it's gone up. William Cottrell says it's 250 if two names are on the account. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Holly Francis, actually, it's a regular bank, even though it hasn't had many depositors who are companies. Okay, because I had not heard that. I had not heard that. So maybe that's the case. But ultimately, what this comes down to is a whole bunch of venture capitalists who were they were over leveraged. They were in crypto, which crashed. They were in very risky stuff. And so, yeah, your money, like Mel says, crypto presto, all your money is gone. Don't invest in that stuff. Absolutely. So we are going to be okay. Thank you, Velda. Velda Ray is Federal Insurance Deposit Corporation. Federal, if I thought it was FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance Corp. It doesn't matter. Point is, stress. So to kind of lower your stress a little bit. We've certainly been through quite a bit over these past years with COVID and the supply shock, and on that drain on the system and inflation. So it's understandable if you're feeling stressed, but we're going to get through this. And from what I have seen, and let me ask, is our banking system, let's start at, actually, I'm going to say it's like, I started talking about this maybe 5 minutes in. U.S. banking system. Let's do a look at the U.S. banking system, shall we? All right, I'm going to make a little space here. Entertainment only, YouTube. Make some space. Put that there. Put this here. Aw. Ricky said, and the star of the show, the inspiration behind the Eagles' classic song, Peaceful, Easy Feeling. Boo Boo and Kitty. Oh, thank you. He is right there. That little lump right there if it starts moving. And I'm sorry about the noise there. I've got family coming in and out and in and out. It's so... I put my phone on basically on this. So the motion detectors won't drive you crazy. FDIC.gov. Thank you, Trillium Tarot. Let's look at the U.S. banking system. Okay, let me tilt this down. Move this over. There. All right. The U.S. banking system. Now, Marjorie Orr, who is a great astrologer, she has a great astrology blog. I remember she had some of her blog posts were about the banking system, because she was seeing some strain on banks all over the world over these number of years, which makes sense. I mean, we are recovering from a pandemic. And just so you know, I am not panicked. I'm not feeling panicked, but it's like I can feel everybody else's panic. I just want to be like, calm down. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. CC Ryder says you're confusing two banks, FVB and Silvergate both collapsed. Yesterday, the financial world witnessed a classic run on a bank, Silvergate, the go-to U.S. lender for crypto companies. Okay. Well, there we go. Let's have a look at the U.S. banking system. Okay, the first thing I'm getting is that the U.S. banking system is massive. It's a lot stronger than you think because, again, we are thinking, human beings, we are not good at envisioning the sheer scale of things now that there are this many people in the country, in the world. Our brains are not good at that. And because of the stories we've heard and what have you, someone says bank run, bank failure, and it's easy to panic. But sauna. Okay, burden. We are under burden, and I wonder if this is the ones because of the far right, like when the Republicans did everything they could to infect everyone, and considering how many people we lost and all that damage. Center of the reading, High Priestess, higher wisdom, emotion, higher wisdom, secrets. Are you going to choose your higher wisdom or your base panic? That's kind of what it feels like. Above this, hanging above it. Oh, and by the way, Kathy Ritchie says, I saw a video somewhere that said if banks are going to be closed, it would be on Fridays. The other thing to understand is small banks, or rather banks, there are banks across the country who close fairly regularly. This is not this is the only bank closures this year. No, I don't believe that for a second. So, yeah, we are fine. Exactly, Cece. 2 banks collapsed this week for different reasons. Silicon Valley is the premier for venture capitalists and tech. Tech companies pulled out assets after CEO called. He cashed out 2 million. Was it 2 million before the bank collapsed? Silvergate was a crypto bank. We are fine. Yes. Betty says, I've seen many banks close. Mm-hmm. So hanging above this would be bankers, and this would be a merchant. This is a merchant in good standing. Those are bankers. And that's what's hanging over this. That's not a catastrophe. Base of the reading. Insult to injury and scrutiny, and being out in the cold. So mess around and find out. Apple says the executive sold stock first. Thank you. Insult to injury, scrutiny, very cold feet. All right, in the past, before crypto, banks were, a little more straightforward. Yeah. Betty says here in Texas, banks come and go regularly. There you go. All right, home environment, suspension. Well, these banks have had, let's say they've had their problems, suspension, but just, again, I don't know what to say to help with the panic. Just, okay. Hopes and fears. Which way is the tide going to turn? Is this a fated point? Are things going to break down and have a wider influence? That's the hope and the fear. What other people see, there's some disappointment there. but there's still cups standing. William says, we're all broke, so we don't need to worry. All right. The challenge. There are people who lost a lot of money, but I have a very regular bank, and it's just kind of ticking along, tickety boo. All right, near future 1 and 2, final outcome 1, 2, and 3. Near future 1, near future 2. Pick up what fell down. These were the crypto people trying to convince each other to be all in, like a cult. But then this is, cleaning up. That's not bad. Final outcome 1, 2, and 3 on the U.S. banking system. 7 of Wands, 9 of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. This feels like some things need to be cleaned up, but it feels like a one of those hand broom and dust pans kind of levels of cleaning up on the grand scheme of things. Some of these people who've really gone all in, they're on the defensive, they're feeling beaten up, but this is just regular. This is a money courier to me. Most often this Knight of Pentacles is like moving money around, is doing whatever they're, I'm just not seeing catastrophe here. It's not here. So for what that's worth, and do check with other readers, I find that it's a consensus among readers of what's most likely to happen. But I've got no catastrophe here. All right. So, I like that, Ricky. I guess cryptocurrencies have turned into crypto night. That was good. That was good. Kathy Ritchie says, didn't Alex Jones say all of his money is in crypto? I hope not, for the sake of the Sandy Hook families. Oh, right. Okay. Oh, B. Smith just had supper in Ireland. Skidding in after supper here in Ireland. What did you have? What did you have? Kathy Delisle says, oh my gosh, my pretend money is gone. I was in a really good credit union up when I lived in Minneapolis, but now I'm just with a regular bank. Hang on one second. Sorry, something stuck in my teeth. TMI, but I got it sorted out. Okay. All right, so we'll get back to some banking questions, what have you, but I want to go on to questions I carried over from yesterday. Ooh, B. Smith, lentil mushroom stew, eating apple tart and custard now. Oh, heaven. Oh, heaven. Okay. 18. Okay, so carried over from yesterday, the Republican-controlled Tennessee State House of Representatives, oh boy, that questions that begin with that don't usually end up being about puppies and kittens being saved. The Republican-controlled Tennessee State House of Representatives voted on Monday to pass a bill that would allow county officials to deny same-sex or interracial couples marriage licenses. That's not legal. There are federal laws against that, I believe. Will this lead to the rights of gay or interracial marriage ending up back in front of the Supreme Court? What will happen? Tennessee, really? Really? Oh, I read on the lieutenant governor who was liking and making nice comments on the social media posts of a lovely gay man. He responded. I read the article this morning, and his office is now trying to say the lieutenant governor. He responds to he responds to many constituents. Really? Mm-hmm. Debbie says, I figured they were working their way toward this horrible idea. Tennessee, really? Really? No gay marriage, no interracial marriage? What year do you think it is? What century do you think this is? Sit down. Knight of Cups. There are laws, there are federal laws that sit down. Sit down. Seven of Swords, Star, Three of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, High Priestess. Look, I'm not a fan of Clarence Thomas. And I know that it's amazing, the hypocrisy out there, but do as I say, not as I do. But do you really think that Clarence Thomas is going to vote to ban interracial marriage? I don't like him. There isn't much I would give him credit for that he wouldn't do. But really? Amy Jones, yes, Republicans are very Victorian leaning. Arkansas bringing back child labor. Yeah, I saw that. Theft. The Great White Hope. But no, there's hope because there are federal laws. But in the, oh, I'm so sorry. I don't do personal readings. Sorry, it's just political. So, but in Tennessee, they're going to keep doing what they're doing. In secret. They're still digging through legality of what they can get away with, but it's not this. Yeah, I think they think they can get away with it, and it's certainly a dog whistle for their ilk, bigoted ilk. But no, you're in the wrong century. I'm not getting anything about the Supreme Court. I'm getting the federal government going, Deva says he'll ban it for everyone but him. Clarence Thomas, I know. I wouldn't completely say, no, you wouldn't do that. No, I think there's a chance, but it doesn't feel like it. And I'm not even really picking up on the Supreme Court. So, B. Smith, true. Also, Autumn does not operate a pay-for-play system on questions. That is true. That is true. Because I know there are people who are kind enough to be here every day and who cannot afford. And that's okay. I'm just glad you're here. Yeah, Betty. Ban it from this day forward. Future interracial marriages. No. Like this feels like going down to the floor shop to get the bouquet and the corsages and the Knight of Swords, Ace of Wands. It feels like they're like putting the stick out to try to trip the law, to stop this law, and they're back here kind of chuckling to themselves. I don't even know if they themselves think this will actually work, because this just feels like they're kind of sitting back chuckling, because this is us going forward legally, and this is them putting that out to trip the horse, try to trip the horse. And then Tennessee, really, you've got nothing better to do with your time. Really. Kathy Ritchie says, what happened to the land of the free? Yeah. Man. Well, and then we have 2530, Eileen's question. Republicans are unleashing a torrent of anti-trans bills at the state level. How quickly will this end up at the Supreme Court? Which part of it, though? Because they're going to try different parts. SB Third Eye says, Tennessee, it sucks to have to live here. Sorry. Heartbreak. Absolute heartbreak. Ten of Swords, Death card, Judgment, Ace of Swords, Three of Cups. These people are on the wrong side of history. They, on the right, they are using this as a cultural issue. They got their overturning of Roe v. Wade, so now they've moved on to this. Because what else what other hot button issue are they going to push? Seriously. They need something. And they're just yelling it over and over and over and pushing as if that's really the main thing going on in the country. No. But this is the truth. And this is women saying, get out of my house, get out of my body, get out of my doctor's office, and get out of my child's doctor's office. They're just going to end up hurting themselves. But right now, they've just jumped the far right, or just the right. They are jumping on this next thing, and like Marjorie Trader Green, where it's only it's the children being forced to transition and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's like you have no clue. You have no clue what you're talking about. But she revels in her ignorance. She revels in it. Just like when women become pregnant, there are mitigating circumstances. You don't know every situation. You don't. When it comes to medical care, you don't know. You don't know what damage was done earlier. May have been done earlier. You don't know how this person is feeling. You don't know what other issues are involved. You don't know. Marjorie Trader Green and you people, you're ignorant. You are absolutely ignorant. And you have just embraced, oh yes, I'm ignorant, they say. Well, then you should not have power. Yeah. I'm going to agree with you. Where was it? Hilda is saying that the far-right Republicans have gone too far right. They're falling off a cliff. They've gone bonkers. Yeah, swilling the angry Kool-Aid. Ugh. Yeah, Betty, if children being forced to work, carry a child, and they call it protecting them. Hmm? Yeah. Well, Broussard, I completely agree, as usual, with what you say. Embracing ignorance is not a winning life philosophy. Hallelujah. All right, at 30 minutes in, We had a couple of international questions. 30 minutes in. CIA Director Bill Burns says the agency is doing all they can to counter and disrupt the Wagner Group. Will they be successful? Gosh, I hope so. If ever there were, I mean, it would be hard. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it'd be hard pressed to find a more disgusting, vile group of people than the Wagner Group. Their tactics, they should be on trial in The Hague. No question. So the CIA says they're doing all they can to counter and disrupt the Wagner Group. Will they be successful? And the Wagner Group has the weakness that they're still being backed by Russia, and Russia's not doing so well. Oopsies. Yeah, Froxy Roxy, but they won't feed these children. Oh, right, exactly. Oh. Knight of Pentacles. Ooh, follow the money. And the Wagner Group is begging for materials and ammunition from Russia, and Russia's looking through its fingers. Hierophant, 8 of Swords, Knight of Cups, King of Pentacles, 4 of Wands. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. The institution, the government, is already hampering the Wagner Group. This is the CIA, right in the center, and they're kind of in the background. Going from the big guys, leaders, what have you, to the base of this far-right power. I wouldn't, personally, I wouldn't bet against the CIA. Just me. I wouldn't. In fact, I watched an older documentary last night. What was that thing called? Began with an A and a Z. Azoristan. I forget. Anyway, the point is it was back in the 70s how they raised the K-129, which was the premier Russian nuclear submarine at the time. It had sunk about 3 miles down in the Pacific Ocean. And just the feat of engineering that the U.S. government pulled off to raise, they got part of it, but up off the floor, and they got part of it, got the front of it up off the floor without the Russians knowing. And it was a feat of engineering. So, I wouldn't, when it comes to the CIA, I wouldn't bet against them. They're doing some damage, but it feels like it's walking in the background. Da, 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 da. Yeah. So, what that thing was called? It ended up being it actually had an official name, but when it leaked to the press, the Russians were calling it Project Jennifer or something. But that wasn't its actual name, but that's what stuck. So, anyway, it was amazing what they had to build from scratch. Adolf Twitler says the Wagner Group's mercenaries are committing war crimes that Russia doesn't want the Kremlin to be linked to. Ding. Yeah, exactly. Azorian, maladaptive daydream. Thank you, Azorian. That was it. They would have grabbed the whole thing, but the engineers chose the wrong kind of steel. It turned out to be too brittle, and that far down in the ocean. but they got like the front part of it with lots of stuff. All right. Betty saw something on Twitter. Okay, all right. At 35:30. Okay, there's all right. On the one hand, there's a part of me that is all for there being less violence in the world. People getting along. Oh, sorry, my stomach's growling. Even though I had breakfast. So, I might put this up. The sorry, that's outside. All right, so there's a part of me that is really happy with the ideas of there being less people getting along better, there being less grief and potential loss of life. Great. Iran, and Saudi Arabia have signed a landmark peace deal, which is good. I mean, they've been basically trying to kill each other for centuries, is my understanding. But Iran and Saudi Arabia have signed a landmark peace deal that should hopefully normalize relations between the previously sworn enemies. Will it last? Personally, I don't know why they wouldn't get along. Let's see. They want women to have no rights. They want total control of their populace. Yeah, but okay. But the last thing we need is a war in the Middle East, or anywhere for that matter, but a war in the Middle East is the last thing we need. So sure, if Iran and Saudi Arabia... Diania says the Chinese are involved in that deal. Oh boy. Hello, Anna. So the peace deal, huh? Let me guess. It's not going to be like the agreement in Japan after World War II, where women were finally given the right to vote and things like that. I'm going to guess that isn't a part of this. Just guessing. Okay, nine of swords. That's the card for the reading. So it has been very tense. Okay. Four of Cups. Seven of Wands. Knight of Pentacles. Five of Cups. Two of Pentacles. I have to wonder if Iran isn't making nicey nice with somebody for financial, the thought of some kind of financial gain. I mean, we know the Saudis have been throwing money around like, you've got to be kidding me. But, you know, Saudi Arabia isn't sitting on the largest oil field in the world anymore. The largest one's under Venezuela. So, you know, that oil is going to dry up one day. Just saying. But right now, they're still throwing money around. And Iran has been sanctioned for a long time. So, yeah, but it's not going to work out for as far as the financial, something about the financial thing is not going to work out. It's better than going to war, but and if the financial part isn't working out, Glenn says China's in the middle of this. They want cheap oil. Iran wants nuke tech. Tiania says MBS has been brokering deals. Yeah, Kathy Lampson. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Iran is predominantly Shia. Saudi Arabia is Sunni. I'm not sure they will get along. Yeah, desperate times, perhaps. Yes. Betty says, how's Sparks show today? I saw his name or handle. Yes, Philip Ittner. 1L, 2 T's. Yeah, Philip Ittner is he's regularly on House Stuff. He's a journalist in Kyiv. He's an American journalist in Kyiv, currently in Kyiv. Okay. Again, that's just kind of a little bit of disappointment there. But yeah, Eileen, desperate times make for strange bedfellows. And there might be some argument that it's like, well, at least we're both predominantly Muslim countries. I don't know if that would make any difference, but maybe. Knight of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, Queen of Cups, Four of Swords. Will it last? No, because even though they're doing this, it's not going to work out. I had the Two of Pentacles, and I've got the Four of Pentacles, which is, this falls apart. This is a lack of money. The other was financially unstable. This actually feels like a lot of war that's going on around them. And that's being backed by NATO, and I was just reading on the CIA, and there's a little whiff of CIA in the background, but this is quiet as a tomb. This feels like the agreement not necessarily going so well. So Hilda says they have too many differences. Kevin says there are large lithium deposits found in Iran that China wants. Yeah. Yikes. All right, hang on. Cards flying. Cards flying. Card down. Card down. Oh, yeah. And who suffers the most? Women. But no, you're true. Cosmic Goat Lady says real Islamic law gives women some rights. Extremists take them away and make women broodmares. Schools have been teaching their boys to disrespect their mothers recently. Ew. Oh, and by the way, my comment was not about all Muslims. No. There are plenty of Muslims who believe in equality, who are good people, who you could trust with anything. There are some people who are Muslim who are just, you could just like, here, hold my credit card, and they just would. Here, look after my cat. Okay, they just would. They're very good-hearted people. So it's not, please do not think that was any dig against Muslim. No. Mm-mm. There are good and bad sides to most things. There are people who take it in good directions. There are people who take it in bad. Pick a religion, pick an astrology sign, pick a profession, yeah, anyway. Okay. Monique says we should put the kiddies in charge. But they are. But they are, and they're getting exactly what they want. You deal with it. Just don't disturb me. Okay. Sorry about that. I lost the internet for a second. Sorry about that. Okay. Kathy Lanston was asking, could there be something nefarious behind the rash of train derailments? Is this being done purposefully to make the Democratic Department of Transportation look incapable, or to make them look bad? I suspect it's just the fact that under Trump, so many regulations were rolled back. Regulations that it's a good thing that they were put there. But are these train derailments, are they being done deliberately to make the Department of Transportation look bad? Ten of Swords. A lot of damage. A lot of damage. Two of Pentacles. Page of Cups. Six of Pentacles. King of Cups. Ace of Cups. It's like wheels on a track, but it's this whole card is about things being completely unbalanced. Kevin Waggy says there have been 1,700 train derailments in the last 5 years. We just don't hear about them. Most are minor. True. But there were regulations put in place. The lobbyists got things rolled back under Trump, but Biden's back and things will get better. I'm not getting any nefarious person here. I think it was just regulations were rolled back, but it's being sorted out. So Kathy Ritchie says, I think Republicans blaming the Democrats will make it look like it was the Democrats' fault, but too late. We already know what Trump did. Yes. Okay. All right. Now, Kelly had a few questions. The first one, I don't know that that's really a good question for me. It's more like a good Google question. Oh, great Google, we beseech thee for information. Hang on 1 second. Sorry. Needed to bless you for Giacomo. All right. Kelly was asking, will the SCV Bank in California be taxpayer bailed out? That's a Google question. The Google could give you a much clearer answer on that one. So I would check on that one. But the other two questions at 4830. 4830, will more crypto investment vehicles crash? Fair enough. Let's ask that. Will more crypto investment vehicles crash? Thank you for being here. Thank you. Will more crypto investment vehicles crash? Queen of Wands. Crypto vehicles? Well, the people who are invested in them are already big risk takers. Oh, hang in there, Roxy. We'll be okay. Seven of Swords, Hierophant, Two of Wands, Four of Swords, Empress. Yeah. Thank you, Judy. Thank you. Thank you. That makes a huge difference. Thank you. Thank you. This is a thief card. This is an institution. This is far-right communication. And also worldwide. And crypto is supposed to be able to skirt scrutiny, banking scrutiny. But this is quiet. Silent as a tomb is what the word I'm getting. Not just quiet. Silent as a tomb. And this is strong America and people getting back involved with the regular things you can hold. The your wheat, your grain, your index companies who are gathering the wood and the So will there be more damage done? Yeah, but it really mainly it'll be to these risk takers. But then this is good. This is strong at the end. It's interesting that I watched one of the shows I watch is FBI, and one of the recent episodes, one of the characters was living high on the hog, as they say, and then crypto crashed. It turned out that that's how this person has been living high on the hog. And in the end, another person on the show who went into the FBI because they made their money in investing and just wanted to do something more with their lives, was saying, invest in index funds and index fund companies, real companies who make real stuff, do real things. And it's funny how that was just that came out just a couple of weeks ago, I think. So Deborah says, I saw that episode. I really like that show. So, okay. 50 to 45. Kelly had a question. Oh, no. That was that. So we took care of Kelly's question. And then Kelly was asking about SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried. Fried? I thought it was Fried, but I don't know. 53 minutes in. Will Sam Bankman go to prison? Like that. Okay. Thank you for being here. Is it Siv or Sieve? Zenny says, I don't trust crypto at all. Moon in Taurus. I agree with Autumn. Invest in real things. I may have a Cancer moon, but it's in the second house, which is the house of Taurus. So, emotional need to, not a big store, but I have a little store. I have some shelves in the basement where I have some extra protein powder, and I have some extra, extra toilet paper and extra tissues and extra, just a little, not a lot, but I sleep better at night knowing that's there. So, Sam Bankman, what's his name? Oh, he had quite the plan, living in his bizarre. Look, if somebody's in a poly relationship, you do you. But it wasn't like an equal poly relationship. It was like you could invest. It was something weird. Like investors or people who would go along with them on their I didn't remember. It was just icky. Page of Cups, Sun, Six of Cups, Hierophant, Four of Cups. Well, will he go to prison? Isn't he still in the Caribbean? This is their stupidity. It's almost like he's. See, this is where I'm my ignorance of this topic is showing, because this is odd. This feels like, I mean, is he going to be? No, he's stateside. Kelly says he's stateside and out on bond. Okay, thank you. Because I was going to say, this feels like he would have to leave. And is he going to come to the States? He's not playing ball here. How much is the bond? Trust this guy with a thimble. I wouldn't trust him to show up even with a bond. I wouldn't trust him. Kelly says big. Page of Pentacles. Well, he's a young guy with money and not a whole lot of sense. Knight of Wands. Knight of Pentacles, Two of Cups, Two of Pentacles, Ten of Cups. It all comes tumbling down for good right here. This is not as straightforward as I would have thought. The energy is not as straightforward. It's not good for him. But it's almost as if, like, if somebody's got a Ponzi scheme going, like Weisselberg, Madoff. Like Madoff, what Madoff did when he finally got caught. And the cards are pretty clear. You're a con artist. You did this. That you're going to be, you're going to be held accountable. CC Ryder says Bankman-Fried, the disgraced founder of the bankrupt cryptocurrency exchange FTX, has been under house arrest at his parents' home on the Stanford campus since December, says the Washington Post. Thank you, CC. Stanford scholars co-signed for $250 million, says Trillium Tarot. Thank you, Stephanie. Kelly says, I think he's so entitled. He doesn't think what he did was so bad. Mm-hmm. Yep. He's going down. He's going down one way or the other. But either these people will get their money back, and his parents will help him. But he's done. Kathy Ritchie says they'll get 115 years in prison if found guilty. Got a lot of support. Trillium Tarot says, in addition to his parents, both Stanford law professors as well. Yeah. It just feels like there's a cocoon around him. There's like this little cocoon. Betty says he won't stop if his parents get him off. I don't get him getting off completely. It's just, even if he goes to prison, they'll stand by him, they'll help him, they'll work on appeals, they'll work on, he'll have this support. Knight of Cups, Tower, Knight of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune. It all came crashing down, moving money, it's over. Yeah, he's done, but there's a cushion. Around him. So when he lands, remember how there was one of the Mars rovers was sent to Mars, but something went wrong with the calculations, because as it comes into the atmosphere, to the end of that, these big kind of airbags deploy, and then it just kind of bounces and rolls and straightens itself up. Well, this one didn't, and it just went kerplow. Well, he's not going to go kerplow. He's got the airbags. Roll, and then he'll do a certain amount of time, and then his family will do everything they can to get him released, and on he goes on his entitled, married little way. Kathy DeLau says, great parenting job. Yeah. See, I try not to I try not to say stuff like that just because I was not blessed with children. So I only know secondhand how hard it is to be a parent. And it is hard. I've seen that over and over and over. But there does come a point where your child is facing 115 years in prison through their own arrogance and entitlement that all right, let me see. Where am I? It's interesting. Eileen has a question, and we haven't looked at this in a long time. 103. Putting their own worries aside, how are Ivanka, Jr., and Eric feeling about the prospects of Trump being found guilty of major crimes? I don't know if we should put their worries aside, Eileen. They don't want anything bad to happen to their father. I'll do 3 cards. Ivanka, Jr., and Eric. 3 sets of 3 cards. Prospects. How are Ivanka, Jr., and Eric feeling about the prospects of Trump being held accountable for major crimes? Well, first of all, they have a seriously codependent relationship with their father. I mean, they were incredibly isolated. They would have lunch every day together, like in the conference room or whatever, with each other or with their father. They, I think Junior had briefly had maybe 1 or 2 jobs outside of his father's business when he was younger, but it was brief. The devil. I don't know if they've got enough distance from their father to be able to see what was really going on, but all right, Ivanka. 2 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles, Chariot. This sounds terrible. Look, I'm just going to tell you what I get. she doesn't want him asking for any more money from her. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, there's all this stuff coming, but stop asking for money. I'm all for healthy boundaries, but that seems a little cold. Yeah, and I'm not feeling anything there about her own exposures. What do you mean? I saw what you've put up, Kristen. I don't have time to read on it today, but thank you. All right, Junior, Queen of Cups, Temperance. From your direction, it's there. Temperance and Empress. The loss of his mother has actually hit Junior hard. And I don't blame anybody for that. I don't think either of these people are, let's just say, I don't know that either of these people have both feet in reality. Just yeah. Eric, at least his wife, I don't like her, but at least his wife has been a little, I mean, comparatively speaking, his wife has been a little closer to reality. I'm not saying she's nice, but I do believe that Laura has stopped Eric from some of his more boneheaded ideas. Okay. 2 of Cups, 9 of Swords, Magician. I've been getting this for a while. If something happens to Trump, what's left of Trump org, Grift Co., kind of falls on him and Junior. And Junior's in La La Land. I've been getting from this that for one brief second, Eric might actually have a chance to stand up. It's not a great situation. It's not a healthy situation. It's not him going elsewhere, getting a job elsewhere, building a life elsewhere. There's a lot of worry, but there's just a brief moment. He might actually be able to briefly be the voice of reason-ish, take over the company-ish, something like that. But it's not nice. Wow, that was awful. No, I'm serious. That energy was awful. What a bunch of entitled, self-centered. Jeez. I can't even imagine. I cannot imagine one of my parents being in that kind of jeopardy. Period. And I can't imagine if they were, that I wouldn't just completely be there for him. But then again, we're talking about Donald Trump, so you can't be there for him because he'll just take and take and take and take and take and give and not give. Wow. Oh, no worries, Eileen. We need to check in on these things. But I'm going to call it for today. It's 1:29 here in Chicago. There are a few questions left. I'll move those over to tomorrow. And yeah. But thank you so much for being here. It's 1:29 p.m. here in Chicago. In 2 hours, I'll be over on the Creative Sprints channel. You're always welcome. And other than that, I will be right back here tomorrow. Very simple. And tomorrow morning, I should be publishing your astrology forecast for the week. So that'll be tomorrow. So, all right, that's it. Have a wonderful rest of your day. You're not alone. We are in this together. There are good days ahead. There really are. All right. Take care, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.